CMS has released the draft copy of the RAI manual and the item sets for the October 1, 2023 release. Almost every section has changes. Keep listening for a brief overview of the changes in Section A. Section A asks specific questions regarding each resident's identification information. It now asks for more detailed demographic information to determine potential care needs, including access to transportation, and the type of home in which the resident resides. A1005 is a new question that asks about ethnicity. Knowing the ethnicity of each resident gives us the ability to improve the understanding of each resident's unique needs. This information can be used to address ethnic disparities in healthcare outcomes and is part of the social determinants of health. A1010 asks for the resident's race. Knowing the race of the resident gives us the ability to improve understanding of and address racial disparities in healthcare outcomes. The resident should be the primary voice when answering this question. There is now more guidance and options to choose from for race and what to do if the resident cannot answer or refuses to answer. There is also clarification for answering question A1110 regarding the resident's need or want for an interpreter. A1250 is a new question that addresses the resident's transportation needs. This is part of the Social Determinants of Health program and asks if the resident has missed appointments, meetings, or other things needed for daily living due to a lack of transportation. It is an interview-based item in which you ask the resident about their transportation status. A1805 entered from is not a new question, but there are now more options to choose where the resident entered from. Knowing the setting the resident was in immediately prior to admission into the current facility helps facilitate more effective and efficient delivery of care, care planning, goal setting, and discharge planning. A2105 discharge status is not new either, but I bet you can guess what changes were made. As you may have guessed, there are also many additional options for discharge status so that we have more accurate data collection. New question A2121 provision of current reconciled medication list given to subsequent provider at discharge asks if the current reconciled medication list was given to the next provider who will be following the resident's care. By providing the active list of medications to the next provider upon discharge from the facility, we are reducing the risk of medication-related adverse outcomes. A2122 asks for the route of current reconciled medication list transmission to subsequent provider. This question asks how the information was given to the next provider caring for the patient, for example verbally, by EHR or email. Question A2123 asks about the provision of current reconciled medication list to resident at discharge, and A2124 asks for the route of current reconciled medication list transmission to resident. They are basically asking for the same information in the previous two questions about the med list, but asking if we provided med list directly to the resident and in which format. Your facility will need to update policies and determine how all of the new data requirements will be tracked and documented if it is not doing so already. The entire interdisciplinary team will need to play a part for successful outcomes. Would you like a more detailed training on all the changes coming this October? Call or email me today to set up a customized training plan for your facility.